Hello and welcome to the 50-cent tour of Tuesday, July 23rd, 2013. Hope that you're having a pleasant day so far. Please find a seat on the Liberty Bus and we will begin our tour. Obama Sharpton race baiting is backfiring. This is Alex Jones from yesterday, and the reason I have this segment is because he interviewed Larry Elder, and Alex is focusing to some extent still on the Zimmerman Trayvon Martin incident / trial. In fact, right now he's interviewing a man who is with the new Black Panther National, I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but it's actually moving to hear some of these black leaders speak. Even the guy who's on today, who has, in the past, in '95, I guess, he encouraged violence against white people. But you listen to these people, and really, they're just, we're all struggling to get through the day, more or less. And if we can only realize who are our friends and who are our enemies, our lives will be easier. Most of the time when we're angry, frustrated, we're angry at the wrong person or group of people. We all have a common enemy, and that is the elite cabal controlling the financial structure currently in our world. So ultimately, I guess, if we want to be angry, although I'm not really advocating that, but could we identify who the source of our problems are? Well, you have something like this child being born to the Prince of England, and all of a sudden everybody in America is all excited about British royalty. Why? Please. A couple of weeks ago I had up a link that I really like, that is the history of the money changers, and the website is something like I Am the Witness. You can look it up in the past notes for the tour if you don't remember, or if you're interested in looking it up. But the British, according to that information about historical facts, the current British royalty is not even they're not even really the rightful heirs to the throne of England. William of Orange came down from the Netherlands, and that's all that. But here's how I want to see this today, though. If this world's a Loosh farm, then everything makes sense. The day today for me has a feeling of, it's just like some of those days you feel like you're swimming through pea soup, and today feels that way. And as I was contemplating why I was thinking about this birth that so many people in America are so excited about, and I was just thinking, when there's kind of a worship of a person, the entity that person worships receives juice from that. And I don't agree with every word of this, okay? But I do think there is something to the idea of Loosh, and typically Loosh is tied to negative emotions. But honestly, when we give worship, and I'm calling it worship because, people bow to these people. It is a form of worship that is shown to royalty. And, it's to some extent, it's idolatry. Now, I'm all for honor. Honor's cool, but when you're bowing to somebody and you're not allowed to turn your back to them, I think that goes a little bit beyond honor. I think it's bleeding over into the realm of worship, and especially when people live their lives vicariously through looking to elevated figures who are, they're just people. Are they smarter? Are they more beautiful? Are they better? What do you think? I'm gonna say no. And this is an interesting book. We have it. To be honest, I have not read it. My husband is always telling me that I need to read it. It puts forth the idea that I think it was Prince Charles is the Antichrist. Do I believe Prince Charles is the Antichrist? To be honest with you, no. But there are some interesting ideas presented here. And if you're a David Icke fan, you are aware of his stories, supposedly from eyewitnesses, of the royal family transforming into giant reptiles. Do I believe that? I'm open to the idea. I do believe that it's definitely possible for demonic entities to inhabit people, and those entities are manifested sometimes. Anybody who's ministered a whole lot of deliverance can tell you stories about people writhing like snakes and having contorted expressions on their faces. And I can't entirely rule this out. Now, I'm not criticizing. I'm not just. I have no axe to grind. I'm an observer. I'm just pointing some things out. Whether or not you believe in David Icke's reptilian ideas or not, this is the King's Speech. If you see the film, I won't say it's a whitewash, but I don't think they show the very depths of issues among the royal family, but they go deep enough. I mean, they show an abusive father, children who are pretty messed up, a mother who refuses to comfort her son when his father has died. And I just, are these really people that we want to idealize? I think that, we should take a careful look at this and find, worship the Lord, or, get a life so that we don't have to be so interested in their lives. And here's just one more bit of news pertaining to British royalty, and Britain is freezing to death. The older elderly people in Great Britain were so cold at this particular time that they were using their free travel passes to spend the day riding on buses, while others are seeking refuge from the cold in libraries and shopping centers because they're not able to heat their houses. But as Alex Jones was saying yesterday, royalty owns something like 100 castles that they keep open and heated all the time. But Great Britain can't afford to let their elderly have a warm home to live in. Here's another bit of news from England. In the land of serial child abuse by the elites, Cameron screws the internet to save kids from pornography. The UK is considering an internet ban on pornography, which sounds good. right? I mean, none of us are advocates of kiddie porn, but what this means is internet censorship. And once internet censorship begins on a broad scale, where would it end? So this is, we're moving toward this, and I think it's a disturbing trend. And along with that, I wanted to point this out. Barrett Brown prosecution threatens right to link, could criminalize routine journalism practices. If we couldn't link, I would not be able to produce this video. I mean, that's, so much of our information is based on the ability to visit another website that gives more credibility to whatever it is that we're reading, writing. So this would be a real problem, and I was just wondering to myself, well, how would we overcome that? Could we develop some kind of online networks of liberty people who give their, who post copyright permissions that, go ahead, link to me? I don't know. I'm not sure, but we may need to be thinking along those lines so that we can continue to access the liberty information that we need and want. Photos. Obama-backed Syrian rebels ransack Christian village. I don't talk a whole lot about what's going on in the Middle East. I don't think a whole lot about it. I guess, I hope it's not because I have my head in the sand. I believe that what Benjamin Fulford and others say about, about peace in the Middle East is true. That try as they might, the cabal will not be able to start a full-scale war there. But, there are enough people in the U.S. who are still in service to the cabal enough to be pushing for war. And we have this top U.S. military advisor warns of massive cost, limited options for Syria involvement. So I hope this doesn't go anywhere, but they've got their foot on the gas when it should be on the brakes. And Greenwald says that explosive NSA spying reports are imminent. I hope that as this information continues to pour out, how our government has used and manipulated and abused us, that people care. This is just a little interesting tidbit. Internet businesses caught price gouging customers that visit high-end websites. If you shop online, you should be aware that if you visit sites that that are selling yachts or time on private jets, you may pay a higher price for things on other sites. And I believe that if you get a privacy network, a cloaked VPN, I think that will overcome these kind of issues. And also if you use this little cookie devourer that I use, I think that would protect you. But just be aware. And our good news: sound sleep habits and healthy lifestyle reduces risk of fatal heart attack by nearly 80%. So, there's a Bible verse that says, in vain do you rise up early and go late to rest, because he gives to his beloved in their sleep. So, grab a good night's sleep whenever you possibly can. The Daily Tour is a presentation of She Who Will Walk in the Dark Productions, and we thank you for participating in today's tour. The dawn is coming. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, and insist on liberty.